We've just bought this 430d X-Drive for a very good price, main reason being that it's a non-runner. It was starting when we first bought it with a mad knocking noise. So hopefully we can fix it and get it running as it should. If you go around the car now, everything's all in good shape. It was previously a Cat S, so it has had damage to the rear. That's another reason why it was so cheap. But for the engine bay, you can see everything's really clean. Front bumper's clean. It's got a little extra bits on the bumper there, so everything looks good. It's got that to match black grills. Engine bay wise, like I said before, everything's clean. But then we had a look into the filter, and as you can see, there's a lot of metal shavings there. So it's good to have a bigger issue. Rod bearings, main bearings. So we're going to have a look into that, which we'll get to in a bit. But if we come around and have a look at the car, you can see for the wheels, before we bought it, the wheels got done. There is slight curb marks on the driver's side already, but as they are at the moment, they're all in good shape. We've got brand new tyres all around. This side's all in good shape as well. A little dent there in the wing, which can be fixed. The back's in really good shape as well. You can see we've got a splitter fit. That's probably when it got rear-ended, so it's got a little wing rear splitter, which looks good. It can be improved, but it's only a 430d, so we don't have to go crazy with it. Wheels again, all in good shape. You can see the little curb mark. There's also a little ding in the door that needs to be sorted out. But other than that, the car's in really good shape. Me and Casper are going to get into taking apart the engine. We need to move the S5. S5 we done last, we didn't record it, but we can get some pictures up of the S5. So we said it's a non-runner, we have to start it to get it out of park. So you're about to hear the engine for the first time. We haven't heard it for a while, so we'll see how it sounds now. Doesn't actually sound that bad. It didn't sound that bad. Let's try again. Let's try again. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, it's definitely knocking. Reverse it back. There we go. We just want to make sure the engine don't seize. They don't sound the best. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh my Jesus. Yeah. Alright, so that's what we're dealing with. Alright, so we're going to start taking it apart now. So as you saw with the time lapse, we've got a lot of stuff done. We've got all the wipers off, all the cowlings off at the top there, so all this is clear. We've got some of the breather lines off. We've got the wiring loom for the ECU off, so that's going to come out with the engine, so that's all just moved over, so this is free. We still got the fans and a lot of coolant pipes connected. We're going to leave that to the end so we can do the coolant at the end, so we don't want to drain it off just now so it's not dripping on us. So a lot of stuff at the top is ready. We still need to take the cover off here. We're going to take the air conditioning compressor off separately, so we don't have to take the gas out and we don't have to re-gas it at the end, because it was working when we first bought it. So that would still be fine. A few lot of bits to do. Casper at the moment is underneath. You can see his legs. He's taken out the starter motor, and then we can take off the cover for the sump. And then we'll be able to take the dry plate bolts out. So dry plate bolts that connecting the gearbox with the engine, so that's going to be the main thing to disconnect. We've got the drive shafts out. To take the drive shafts out, we took the lower arms off, chakra end off to give us enough space to move the whole suspension out of the way. So that's done on both sides. We've got because it's X drive, we have a little prop shaft that we have to take off as well, so that's disconnected. Swung that out of the way, you don't have to take it fully out, because if you take it out, the oil comes out. But as it is at the moment, you can see here it's got the starter motor out, and that's the cover for the sump. So we're getting there, we're going to put it back on the time lapse, and then we'll get back when the engine's ready to come out. Alright, so we're on day 2 of taking the engine out. We've got a lot of stuff done already. So we've got a crane hooked up, it's all buttoned onto the engine mounts there. We have the engine mount itself out. Now we have the coolant fans out. Coolant pipes are off. All the intake pipes are off. Gearbox is fully disconnected. All the bolts out for that. Gearbox lines are off. Got the AC compressor loose. You can see that's just dangling, so that's going to stay in. You can see there, all the fans are out, so we've got enough space to pull the engine forward. Mounts out down there. Everything on that side is all good. So hopefully, now we're ready to take it out. So if we start jacking it up, then we can find out what's left on there. But I'm pretty sure we should be all right. Give it a fucking.
Just needs to come out of that driver's side engine mount. Yeah.
How much we got?
It's nearly out.
It's just got to go up.
Yeah. Should just pull out if we pull the engine forward.
Probably has got more stuck on the.
It's on the engine mount now, yeah?
There you go. Yeah. Alright, DPS out.
Is that out the exhaust, yeah?
Yeah, probably has to go up more though.
Yeah, this side's all good.
Let's check the cables.
Yeah, I'll check them, they're all loose. Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh.
What's this?
I need to be careful pushing it. Can you go up a tiny bit so we can clear that off the pipe? Yep. She's coming. Yeah?
Yeah, exhaust is sweet.
Alright, good this side as well. Let that drop down.
Yeah.
Push it up. Oh yeah. What was that? What popped?
Nice. Front.
Try and tighten it a bit. Alright.
Other way. Yeah. That's about right.
Oh, fucking hell. She's flying. That's all good. Sir.
It's right, isn't it?
Yeah, mine's got a little bit up more. Close.
Yeah, that's right.
Still got the brakes on.
No.
Alright. Engine's free, got to get hooked up on the engine stand and then we start stripping it down. Everything looks all good. So with the engine on the stand now, it is finally time to see what is inside this engine and what has gone wrong. As you can see, Casper there has just took off the front diff. So now we're ready to buzz all the bolts out of the sump, which he's doing now, and then we can see what is inside. There's a lot of Torx bolts everywhere on this engine. BMW do like to use Torx bolts, so if you do attempt to do this yourself, make sure you get the Torx bits for it. Normal sockets do work, but it's always better to have the right tools for the job. And as you can see now, buzzing all them off. This is sealed on, so you're going to see in a second. We have to get the pry bar in there, but these sumps are pretty good. And you don't actually have to pry too much on the metal. You don't have to hammer it in. There's a few places where you can get a pry bar in there, get a good hold, and then separate it without causing any damage to the engine. You can see the cameraman there picking up all the bolts, doing a good job. So all the way around, all the bolts coming off. We still have to do a timing chain and everything. I'm going to make sure this engine's perfect when it goes back in, so we have to dismantle it. And where the chain is, that's where the stand is, so we have to do some moving of the stand to get the cover off there. And you're about to hear our reaction to what is inside the sump. So you can see the pry point there on going at, little bracket there that we missed that was holding the sump in. But if you go where that lever bar was, you should get enough force to be able to crack the seal and then get the sump off. Just waiting for Casper to get that bolt out. We've got a bit more levering to do, and then you're about to hear our reaction to what we found inside this engine. Hey.
Jeez. Oh, shut my brother.
Yeah?
Yep. So we did expect it, but it's never nice to see. As you can see there, the oil has pretty much changed colour. We expect it to be, because it is diesel, oil should be black. Even if you do an oil change, it will still come out black anyway. But it's pretty much grey, so it shows you major bearing failure there. And as soon as we took it off, you can see on cylinder 3 where the rod cap is a lot darker than the rest of them, which shows it's been overheating. You're about to hear that now as well. So yeah, all of that knocking noise just for one journal and 2 of the bearings to fail. So that is on cylinder 3. You can see again where it's a lot darker than the rest of them, showing it's been overheating. No extreme bits of metal in the pickup there. It's got to be thoroughly cleaned, the whole engine. It's got to be stripped down anyway, so we can get in there and try and clean it as best as we can. There's no way of getting it all out, but we can try our best, and then we'll do a few oil changes after we fixed everything, just to make sure all the metal's completely out and we can't cause any more damage than has already been caused. So as you can see, bearing's been stuck to the crank, isn't welded on, which is good. Sometimes they can get overheated enough to where it welds onto the crank, but we've got both out. Where it's spinning around is probably quite free anyway. And then getting the one off the con rod there. Both out, both heavily worn, a lot of scoring. The crank is finished. There's no way that's getting polished. It's lost a lot of material. We're going to take cylinder 4 cap off just to show you the difference, and you can actually see visibly where the lip is missing. So if we was to measure that, it'd be way out of spec to what it should be. And then if we put another bearing in there, all it's going to do is spin again. So taking off the cylinder 4 cap now. As you can see, that's a lot better. You can see the little lip on the side, and the bearing looks really good. So that's done 70,000 miles on that bearing. The bearing looks amazing. If they all look like that, that would have been amazing. But for the knocking noise, this is what we expected. So our plan is to get a timing chain kit, new crankshaft, new main bearings, new rod bearings, and then get everything sealed back up and ready to go. Also, we've got to thoroughly clean everything, make sure everything's stripped down. All the holes are metal free. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be able to get everything out, but we should be able to get the majority out. And that's all from us today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. It was our first video, so we do have a lot of improvement to do on the video side of things. We're used to working on cars and not recording it. So it is new for us, but we have been enjoying it. So if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, like and subscribe, and then let us know what you want us to do with the car once it's all running. Thank you for watching once again, and we'll see you in the next video.